Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to Goddess Wellness Wednesdays. I'm just adjusting my camera for YouTube. My YouTube viewers, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right, peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome. It's your girl Zen, the organic goddess from Nectar. And today we're going to talk about I bet you didn't know that women, dot. All right, because it's a bunch of misconceptions about women, and I'm here to clear it up. I'm here to clear the record. Because women themselves don't even know that some things that I'm about to talk about are not necessarily true. So if you hear me, make sure you drop a heart in the comments. If you know somebody that will benefit from this information, please share with them. All right, don't be greedy. Don't be a hater. Make sure you share this information with them. And I'm here every Wednesday, y'all, at 1 o'clock. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hey, did y'all see my video with me doing the 5 dance moves that help get your energy up? Yeah, that's why I'm always shimmy, wiggle, rolling, shimmy. That's why I'm always dancing because that's how I keep my energy flowing. That's how I stay in a peaceful mindset or calm, for lack of a better word. Um, yeah, and that's how I stay young and fresh. Okay, my lip gloss is popping. Y'all remember that song? My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is something. I don't know what she was saying, but crazy stuff from the '90s and the early 2000s. So yes, let's get right to it. So, hmm, where do I want to start? Because I didn't write this stuff down. I'm just gonna start somewhere. I'm gonna start with the reproductive system in regards to the menstrual cycle. Okay, so we talking about women's periods. So a lot of us think that, okay, I'm gonna say it a different way. Women are always in pain, they're always tired, and have cravings during or before their period actually starts. And I'm here to tell you that that is not normal. I bet you didn't know women are not supposed to be craving foods in pain or tired. No, what Instagram talking about thumbs up? No, I don't want no thumbs up. I'm trying to count. I bet you I bet you didn't know that women that women are not supposed to be in pain, moody, have food cravings, or tired before and during their periods. And I know y'all looking at me crazy, like, what? What you talking about? That's what happens. Let's define this word normal, okay? A lot of times in common, like, whatever, in our communities, people are like, oh, it's normal. Normal is a very misused word, even in the medical community. So when you're going to your doctor and your doctors are talking to each other and your doctor is talking to you, and they're like, oh, it's normal for women to have PMS. It's normal for women to bleed for 7 days. It's normal for women to get a hysterectomy. No, they're trying to say common, and they're using the wrong word. All right, so you have a high occurrence. A lot of people are getting these kind of things happening to them, but it is nowhere near normal. All right. Yes, you're supposed to have your period regularly, once you're healthy and optimal, you're supposed to have your period regularly. No, you do not have to have PMS. No, you do not need to be tired. No, you do not have to have cravings. No, you do not have to be moody and irritable. No, you don't have to be in pain. And no, you don't need to be bleeding past 3 days. Okay? And I know there's a lot of stuff. No, you don't have to have clots. All right? No, you don't have to be bloating. And no, you don't have to be nauseous and vomiting. No, 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 no. If these things are happening to you, it's because your body is telling you that you need to do something different. A lot of us are minerals deficient. A lot of us are vitamin deficient. A lot of us are sunlight deficient, which leads to vitamin deficiencies. A lot of us are sleep deprived. Okay, so we're overworking ourselves, we're not resting, and that's going to lead me into another topic on this list. We're not resting, we're not eating right. We probably got a bunch of parasites in our intestines, along with the processed foods that you're eating, and then mindset. Okay, so the way we think about how our periods are supposed to go versus how it really goes. Okay, so I talk a lot about the different types of foods and things that you could be doing, exercises, experiences, getting into nature, how to reframe your mindset, and y'all can go back and watch the past videos. You can also sign up for my workshops, Hip Hop Burlesque and Pussy Talk 101 Brunch, because we're going in and I'm showing y'all how to upgrade your life so that you can get it together. All right? So I bet you don't. I bet you didn't know that women weren't supposed to be going through all that crazy stuff during your period, okay? Before or during your period. It's unnecessary and it's preventable. So, I guess I'll give you like two little remedies. I'll give y'all two little remedies about how to fix that. Peace. Welcome. Welcome Amodele 3344. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I shared like two remedies of how to fix your period. The first thing is you gotta get a connection with your womb. You have to develop a relationship with her. And again, I teach stepwise on how to do that. The other thing is cleanse out your colon. Make sure you're eating nutrient dense foods like sea moss, avocado, kale, watermelon. Okay, and the list goes on and on and on. All right, make sure they have seeds inside of them when you're getting these fruits. Um, so colon cleanse, rest, eating properly, or eating plant based, I should say. Getting sunlight so that these vitamins can get activated. Um, Mindset is the biggest thing, though. Seriously. Oh, okay. And then getting your hormones in check. Because sometimes we have some different hormone imbalances that to those fluctuations and the different things like the breast tenderness and bloating and the extended menstrual cycle. Something else you might want to consider if you haven't is to get a checkup and just see what's going on. Get some blood work done and see what's going on there. Check your, what is it called? Get a complete blood count. You can do a hormone panel, and then check to see if you have Okay, I'm just going to say it like this. Make sure you're doing your well woman exam on a regular basis, especially if you're sexually active. All right? Because sometimes different STDs and STIs contribute to you having these different pain during menstrual cycle. Okay? Peace. So get your vagina checked. Make sure you're eating properly, plant based, colon cleanse, sea moss, and other nutrient dense foods, and resting. So that's going to make me get to number two, rest. I bet you didn't know that women require more rest than our counterparts, than our male counterparts. Okay? So a lot of us are ripping and running and looking like mad women with our heads cut off, and we're not resting. Yes, some of us have children. No, some of us don't have children. All right? Either way, I highly recommend that you go to bed between 8 and 9:30 ish. I wouldn't even go that late either. But you got to get in bed earlier in the evening. You can wake back up later, but you don't have to be standing there. And this be the craziest thing for me. Why people think that pushing themselves to do work in the middle of the night is the best thing to do. No, go to bed. Like you can wake back up. Who the hell said that you have to go to bed at 10 and wake up at 6, 7 in the morning? Who said that? Like you can create your own schedule, even if you're a working person. Go to bed early. Listen to what I'm saying. And why? Because there's a special connection with us and the sun and the moon and the different hormones and neurotransmitters that our brain releases. And when you go to bed early, you're in sync with it to the point that you will have a more restful sleep by going to bed early. So try it and tell me how it goes. Okay? So go to bed at 8 o'clock. If you still got work to do, wake up at 2 o'clock, wake up at 3, and do the work. Okay? And you can do your work between 3 and 6 a.m. Get ready for work, eat breakfast or get your lunch ready, whatever you do, drink coffee or tea or fresh juice, and go about your day. And then go back to bed at 8 o'clock again. All right? Try it out. Let me know how it goes. This is a strategy I've used for years because I realized that my brain was saturated. All right. So during my medical school studies, we would be in class from 8 a.m. to 3, 4, 5 in the evening, 7 sometimes. And I would try to go home and study some more. And I find myself reading the same line over and over for like an hour. And I'm like, nah, this ain't working. Hey, this not gonna work. So I changed my schedule. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Fuck this book. I'm going to bed. Okay? And it works so good, y'all. Look how I look. Hey, can you tell I went to medical school? Go look at some people that have been in school. They look tore up, y'all. All right. And I bet y'all can't guess my age. All right. So, yes, go to bed early. I bet you didn't know that women need to rest more. Okay. All right. What's the next one? This is like the big one for me. Look, I knew that boy was coming in here. Hi, Shane. Oh, wait a minute. Hi. Come right here. Hey, Pumpkin. Hi.
I think he's tired.
Tired after you just took a nap?
Oh,
Y'all see my little brown baby? Oh gosh.
got
Don't
chips.
don't pull that. Thank you, Zella.
Welcome.
Oh, little pumpkin. Look, I bet you didn't know that all women don't need to be having babies, okay? All right? Not every woman needs to have a child, and not every man needs to have a child either. And not because I'm just saying something. Like, you shouldn't feel bad because you don't want to have kids. You don't have to, all right? Because having kids is not for the weak, and you really have to be invested spiritually, mentally, emotionally. At so many levels, you have to be ready for that journey. And a lot of us underestimate what it takes to be a parent, and we're not prepared. Most of us are not prepared to have children, and then we get into situations where we're burnt out, overwhelmed, depressed. Okay? So I strongly believe that women should listen to their gut to make that decision if they want to commit their life, because it's a life commitment, to have children. The baby is cute when they come out, but they a lot of work, y'all. Lots and lots of work. And you have to really be mentally ready for that and have a community already established. You have to have a community established for you to have a successful time in parenthood. And I'm being straight up because not a lot of people talk about it. They be like, don't have no kids. Oh, you got a lot of kids. Don't be having no. And then it's just, it becomes like judgmental. Or you have the ones that be like, oh, I want him to be my baby daddy. I want her to be my baby mama. Like, some of these ladies be out of order for real. Some of them be, y'all know my mouth be, I be popping off at the mouth. But some women be fucked up, and you should not be having no kids with them. Like, my partner has a son that's much older, and I don't necessarily think that was a good choice. I have fathers for my children that I had to leave because those situations were not the best for me or the children for that matter. So our evaluation process is skewed. Our self worth is non existent, especially as us women. We just think that, oh, I just want a man to take care of me and all this kind of stuff. You gotta set yourself up for success, okay? In all areas of your life. And the saying goes, do not put all your eggs into one basket. Okay, what if the man dies today? Does he have life insurance? More than likely not, because a lot of people don't even have their financials together to that extent. Black people are financially illiterate. Brown people are financially illiterate. So I bet you didn't know that not every woman needs to be having a baby. Okay, she needs to listen to her gut and make that decision from her intuitive self and understand that it is a life commitment, and you want to choose a partner that you can commit to or that is invested in the relationship genuinely and wholeheartedly. Okay? So stop ignoring those red flags because a lot of these people are good with their mouth. All right. So the next one. Hey, this is kind of like stemming off of this family planning. When a woman has children, there's a lot that comes with it. Okay? So y'all saw my little baby in there. He's a piece of work. Okay? And I'm committed to exclusively breastfeeding. So he's weaning now. He's been weaning for like 6 months. Because personally, I don't even know how to wean the baby. And I'm being tortured in the process because my sleep is compromised. and so are my breasts. All right. And the baby has teeth, and his teeth are going into my breast. So as soon as he starts falling asleep, he's like, hello, hello, this is not a chew stick. All right, let me be serious though. So when a woman has a child, this is like a complete transformation, change. There is no going back to that old version of her ever. She could never be the same after having a child. Yes, people change, people change throughout life, but this transformation process is the biggest one. Is one of the biggest ones that we have to go through within our physical body, spiritually, emotionally. Like there's so much that goes into it. That's why you see a lot of women get sick, morning sickness. Sometimes you have women that are vomiting, vomiting throughout the entire pregnancy. There's a lot of weight changes. There's a lot of psychological things that happen because of the changes in the brain. The body is changing. There's so much. The rib cage is expanding, the hips are expanding. And why? Because the baby has to be able to fit and come out. Okay? Joints are getting softened. All right? The breasts are growing, the weight is growing. A lot of women are scared of this weight gain because they don't want to be fat and all this crazy stuff, even though that's just part of the process, especially because the body is preparing to naturally breastfeed, even if you choose to or not. Um, it's a lot. Some people get like their nose widens, some people get darkness in their face, some women get stretch marks, okay? Feet swelling, food cravings, not being able to sleep, gas, and then the more severe cases of having anemia and what that does to the mother and the child. Um, this list is extensive, y'all. So when a woman decides to have a child, this is not something that she can really just go back on. Like there's changes that are going to be permanent forever. And I see it as a woman splitting herself into two individuals. So every time I had a child, I split myself even further down. So when I had my son, I turned into two. When I had my daughter, I turned into three. When I had my second daughter, I turned into four. When I had my son, I turned into five. So I'm like five different people right now because I have to manage five children. Oh, I'm the fifth person. I'm included in that five. Say I'm split into five people right now because when I get up in the morning, I gotta check on Zella, I gotta check on Zion, Shane, I gotta check on Micaiah, and first and foremost, I gotta check on me until they are big enough to check on themselves, and then even when they are adults, they still a part of me. It's not gonna be as much, but at the same time, they're still a part of me. So I've already split myself into this many people. That's a lot of splitting to do. Imagine somebody who has even more children and then no support, no community, none of that. Like let's have some consideration. So the other to think about is this healing process that women have to go through after the baby is born. All right? So it really takes 2 years. I'm going to say that again. It takes 2 years for a woman's body to fully heal after she has given birth to another human being. 2 2 years, 24 months. Okay, 5,020. What is it? 5,000, 2,500, 6. Look, I forget the words. It's a lot of minutes in the year. It's a lot of days in the year. And 2 years to heal? Like when you get a cut, it takes like 14 days. When you have a baby, it takes 2 years. Okay? And in order for her to heal, she needs to rest. Have you ever heard of the statement, sleep when the baby is sleeping? It's a reason for that. Okay? A lot of us be stubborn, like me sometimes. I'm like, ooh, the baby's asleep. I'm about to go get some work done. Bad idea. Because then by the time I'm like halfway done with the work, I'm like, oh, I'm sleepy. And then the baby is starting to move around and wake up. Lord, those be the worst days ever. And then he looking at me and poking me. So, rest when the baby is resting for those 2 years. See, I always count with my thumb first, and this thing keeps giving me a thumbs up. All right, rest when the baby is resting. We're going to put the pinky up first. That's the first thing. Eat some food, okay? Even if you're not breastfeeding, you need to eat. A lot of y'all think that the weight gain is because you're eating too much. You probably never ate enough to begin with, okay? Hormones are usually the problem when people have weight fluctuations and weight problems. It's really something going on with your hormones. That's why earlier I said do some hormone panels. You can do thyroid, you can do ghrelin and leptin, you can check your cortisol levels, all of that. Okay? There's some more, but those are the few that I can think of off the top of my head. Eat, all right? And make sure you're eating these nutritionally dense foods. We're not going to McDonald's every day, all right? We're not doing all these packaged foods for y'all vegans. You have to eat real whole foods. You know, you can grow your own mushrooms and they sell mushroom kits nowadays. You can get any veggie in a can or go to the Asian market and get you some jackfruit fresh, hearts of palm, banana blossoms, mushrooms. Y'all don't have to be eating all this soy. You can eat some soy, but you shouldn't be eating soy every day of the week, 365 days of the year. Okay? Because soy has estrogen and that can throw off or contribute to your already messed up hormones. Get off of those cosmetics. All right? A lot of your cosmetics have too much endocrine disruptors and they done turned you into some type of experiment, Frankenstein project. Okay, you got a beard, you got breasts and a vagina. Like, what's going on? And your shoulders is wide. No, that's because of the disruption of the hormones. All right, your features will change when your hormones are out of balance. It's a bunch of different hormone things that go on with people, and they don't be knowing. All right, so again, take time with women who have children. They have to rest. Rest is a requirement for healing. So earlier I talked about how much time a woman should be resting. Actually, I didn't give a time frame. I just said that women should rest more, but it's supposed to be at least 8 hours each night. And when a woman has children, a brand new baby, she should really be resting when the baby is resting. Okay? When the baby is asleep, she's supposed to be asleep. There's a thing called mineral depletion that happens during the pregnancy and after the baby is born. So women who have like gingivitis and their teeth feel loose, or they have extra cavities and stuff after they've given birth, is because the baby received all the stuff from the mother, and she has to either already be taking in the things that she's gonna lose or start taking them. Okay, and CMOS is like the thing to do. And by the way, we sell CMOS. I'm coming to y'all live and direct from Jamaica. Y'all hear my chickens in the yard. You hear the waves crashing. We got CMOS right at our footsteps, okay? And I sell CMOS on my website. So make sure y'all go to pinknectar.life and get you some CMOS. All right? You can take that before, during, after pregnancy. You can take it at any phase of your life and fix a lot of stuff with the CMOS because a lot of us are mineral deficient. Magnesium is one of the ones that's not talked about. Everybody knows about iron. Oh, I'm anemic. Oh, I'm anemic. Okay, yeah. It'll help with that too. And then, of course, it's jelly like, so it helps with your collagen and your cartilage in your body. So make sure y'all get you some sea moss. So yeah, let's take time with women, please, because a lot of us are trying to like prove ourselves and doing all this extra shit, and we're killing ourselves at the same time. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody any explanation in my life. I listen to my body. If I need to rest, guess what? I'm gonna sit my ass down and rest. If I need to take it easy today, I'm going to sit my ass down and take it easy. Why? Because I have to live inside this body. And I have to look at myself in the mirror and feel good about me. And I'm not killing myself for anybody. So whoever wants to be mad because I'm tired and I need to rest, they can be mad because I still get up and cook and I still get up and take a shower. All right? And I feel good about myself. All right? So, ladies, please, when you're having these babies, prioritize your self care. There is a such thing as baby blues. All right? Postpartum blues. So, you have postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. You actually have a less severe mood disorder called postpartum blues. And I strongly believe this is because of this culture shock of having a brand new baby. And then a lot of us do not have the support system. And then the shock of losing so much minerals and fluids that it affects our mood. So when you're not nutritionally optimized, you don't have enough zinc, iron, magnesium, copper, and the list goes on, calcium, all these things in your body, you're not going to feel good. Your mood is going to suck. Okay? So women go through that, and a lot of times they don't know what's going on with them, or they might have some type of infection and they don't know what's going on with them. They don't know which person to turn to get the correct information, and they're suffering, and they it's normal, or they're just sitting there wondering what's going on and then not doing anything about it. So that could be an underlying problem. Maybe she is sleeping too much, but what is the root of the problem here? Sometimes women are going through emotional distress. Look, when I had my son, I did not know what I was doing. When I had my first baby, I did not know what I was doing. I babysat every one of my siblings, and I'm one of eight. So I have six siblings that are younger than me. Okay? And I took care of all of them. And I thought I knew everything about taking care of a baby until I had my own child. And I was like, what the hell? How come ain't nobody tell me it was gonna take me 3 hours to get ready to go somewhere? This baby won't shut his damn mouth. What the hell? I didn't know my breast was gonna feel like that for breastfeeding. Oh my god, I'm dizzy when I stand up still. It was a lot of stuff, okay? Too much to even talk about right now. And I felt like my brain was scrambled. And then when I tried to ask people, well, in particular, somebody that I thought would know because they have a bunch of kids, no help, no support, no understanding. I was running around. Y'all, I went back to school like a week and a half after having the baby. And you know what? Now that I'm more mature and I have a better understanding, somebody came up to me when I came back to school. She's like, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be wrapped up in the bed somewhere." And I'm like, "My mom said I could come to school." And she just looked at me and walked away. I'm like, "Why did she say that?" Because when women don't sit down for those minimum of 6 weeks, she's constantly moving the womb around and it is popping it back open, y'all. And she is bleeding more. That postpartum bleed is only supposed to last for like a little over a week. And I specifically remember me bleeding for weeks after having my children. And imagine how much blood loss that I really had and how anemic I had been over the years. Nutrient deficient, tired, underweight, because I had no idea that I needed to be still and that people actually needed to be helping me. I used to drive a stick shift too. That was the other crazy part. So I'm driving, moving my feet, moving my hands, doing all this extra stuff. Peace. And that was delaying my healing process, postpartum healing process. Okay? So when I had my son and came home, I told my husband, I'm like, and I'm talking about the new baby that I have now. I'm like, you have to drive me. And I'm like a scary passenger. I'm like a backseat driver. So for me to relinquish my control is a big thing. Okay. So if y'all see me saying, nope, I'm not doing it, because just know that it's for a good reason. And with him, I'm just like, he got me. He's not gonna kill me. So, so he had to drive me everywhere. I can't. To this day, I rarely go to the store by myself without him because I can't do it by myself. And it's not like I don't want to. Like, it's too much. Like, to have a baby crying in the car because you got to go to the grocery store, that does something to your brain. It does something to the baby's brain also because they're trying to find mama. Where mama at? Ah! And you gotta be driving to the grocery store. Oh, we gotta go over here. We gotta go over there. Uh-uh. Women need to be right next to the baby. Okay, not driving in the car, and that needs to happen for at least a year. We have put ourselves in a position to struggle as women. Okay, we're not set up. That's why I told y'all got to have your foundation straight. You got to have your own money. You got to make sure that if you're working for people, that they support women who want to have children. You're not a man and you're not a mule. Okay? Our bodies are not designed the same. We are supposed to be still more than all this rigid, rugged movement. Okay? At the end of the day, you're supposed to be putting your feet up. Like for real, putting your feet up. Men need to do it too. And I'm just really talking to the women right now, but we're supposed to be doing a lot more for ourselves than we ever do on a regular basis. And this postpartum period is like the number one neglected time period and underestimated and misunderstood. And a lot of us are walking away damaged. Now let's talk about some of this damage though too. So when I had my first son, I had an episiotomy. And for those of you who don't know what that is when they cut the vaginal opening so that the baby can pass through. And the medical philosophy behind that is that they cut that specific spot because they don't want more tearing. And the real problem is that I was laying on my back with my feet up in the air like this. Okay, so just imagine me laying up. This is my body, this is my legs, and these are my two, like the shins and the feet, and my feet up in the air like this. Why? That's pure foolishness. Nobody's supposed to be giving birth on their back. I don't really give a shit who says what. Nobody's supposed to be giving birth on their damn backs because you're crushing your coccyx for one. So you're crushing your tailbone that's supposed to go like this. The tailbone goes out, out, and your hips go out, out like that. And then you're going against gravity. All right. When you go look at the ancient carvings and things like that, women are giving birth like this, and they're squatting, and you see the baby popping out the middle. Okay. If you gotta lay down, okay, fine, but lay on your side. Do not lay on your damn back. Okay? Stand up. Get on all fours. Get in a squatting position. For me, the best position for me was on on my fours. So when I had my first daughter, I was actually like standing, squatting a little over the toilet. When I had my second daughter, I was on my knees in the bathtub. When I had my second son, I was on my hands and my knees. And I learned a new technique called Kiko, knees in, calves out, so that I could optimize and make sure that the opening at my hips, the vaginal opening, was open enough for the baby to come out. And no tearing on baby number four. I didn't have one tear. I tore a little with the second and third children, but no tearing with baby number four because I was in the correct position. All right, so that means that was a less healing that I needed to do. I didn't have to get stitches. So when I had that episiotomy, I had stitches. I had to be, look, I needed like a donut to sit on because I couldn't sit like this. I had to be sitting like this. And then the sex was painful after that. I was like, I don't do not touch me because that whatever that lady did when she sewed me up, it wasn't right. And then, ooh, I gotta loosen up because that was a bunch of trauma. My hips were messed up after that. My groin. Oh no, I used to train in karate, and when I went back to train after the 6 weeks, I'm like, I feel like I got hit by a bus. And every time I would kick and do all these things, it was just pure pain. For years, I had pain in my groin. It wasn't up until a few years ago, and mind you, my son is about to be 17 this year. It wasn't until a few years ago that I was able to work that pain out. Peace, welcome. So some women, so we have the healing of the perineum, the healing of the uterus after everything comes out, the healing of the pelvic floor, the healing of the groin, and let's talk about this abdomen. A lot of us are looking in the mirror and being like, why my belly still poked out? I got a mommy pouch. I'm fat in my midsection. Why? Because those two abs muscles that go down and you get them six packs, they're torn apart. Okay? They're torn apart and there's really no chance of them getting back together unless you bind your belly after having the baby. Immediately after, because then there's stem cells circulating and the body can heal itself. You can still strengthen the abdomen, but the best time and the best practice is to bind the belly and be still and do some breathing exercises immediately after that baby is born. Now, obviously, you have to wait a few days because there's like different swelling in the abdomen if you had a vaginal birth, and then you have to wait a couple weeks if you had a C-section because there's a lot of stitches, lots and lots of stitches. So you have to wait until after that's healed before you can bind your belly. But it is so important to reconnect with your abs and learn how to heal the abdominal wall after having children. And why? Because our appearance, we don't like looking bad and we don't like feeling bad. And that's going to be the number one way that you're going to get that snatch back, okay? Some people, when they have a C-section, they'll sew it back together. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay together because stitches can pop when you're doing foolishness. Um, okay, and when you're doing belly binding, you don't sleep with the belly binding gear on. When you do have your belly bound, you have to be doing breathing exercises and some sustained holds. All right. So that segment took a long time, y'all. When I bet you didn't know that when women have children, you need to consider that it's going to take 2 years for her to heal. All right. So that's my last point of I bet you didn't know. And in that 2 years, she needs to sleep when the baby is sleeping. She needs to be eating properly and eating often, regardless of if she's breastfeeding or not. She needs to be checking on her hormone levels and if she has any type of infections going on. She needs to bind her belly and be still. Stop walking up and down and driving and going all these places. Forget all that. Forget it. You have to be still. And whoever your partner is and your community, they need to be helping you. Or you need to hire someone to help you. You cannot do this by yourself. Something that you can do also is have your supplies next to you when you have the baby. So have like a little shelf with all the little supplies so you don't have to keep getting up. All right, so we talk about rest, belly binding, going to the doctor and getting some actual lab work done because they don't do that after the 6 weeks. And you insist on what you want. Like, you don't have to be taking crap, eating properly, resting, binding your belly. There was something else that just came to mind and it just popped out of my damn head again. Lot, because it's a lot. It's a lot of things to consider when you're having kids. Make sure that you're taking things that are going to optimize you. We have to take a lot of herbs, red raspberry, nettles. It's a lot of stuff. Dandelion, lots and lots of greens. If you're breastfeeding, make sure you pay attention to if the baby is sensitive to cauliflower and kale and cabbage family foods, because it can make them colic. All right. So I really hope that this helps y'all. And I hope that y'all be kind to yourselves and be kind to women, because we have we have a big responsibility. All right, we have a responsibility to ourselves and we have a responsibility to our community, and we're underestimated. Oh, that was what I was going to say. Make sure you have your financial backing. Okay, that would be number 5. Make sure you have your financial stability and foundation in order before you start having these children. All right, so hopefully you have a partner that's going to be supportive, but at the same time, you got to have your money in order. You can't be banking on what he's going to do and what he's going to do for you. No, have your own stuff. It's nice for him to contribute to you financially. That's nice. That should be the bonus, but that should never be the, your financial security in its entirety. That should never be that. You have to have your own things in place. So when you have your things in place financially, and you're ready to have a children, you're ready to have children, you need to have a place to live, a vehicle to drive, and means to get food and maintain your living expenses. And I think this is part of the reason why these agencies are in place. When you have food stamps, WIC, Medicaid, okay? Obviously that's not optimal, but at the same time, if that's where you are in life, then you need to just take advantage of those resources. Okay? They do have community organizations that give away free baby supplies like diapers and stuff like that. And you always have to do what's best for you. Okay? Be adamant about that. Use your power for good use. All right? So it's one thing to be like empowered and then crazy about it, but it's another thing to be empowered and wise. All right? So we have to activate this feminine wisdom. Most people do not know what the women are supposed to be doing during our season of having children. A lot of people don't. And then they start yapping at the mouth and saying some nonsense that they have no business talking about. Okay? The only thing people need to do is say, how can I support you? How can I assist you during your healing? What do you need? And you need to know and be clear about it and prioritize you. All right? Prioritize yourself. Yeah, I heard something that got me kind of heated yesterday, and I'm like, that's foolishness. A woman is not lazy because she needs to rest and she just had a baby. Okay, that doesn't make somebody lazy. Somebody who's lazy is somebody who does not take any responsibility for their life, and they think that everybody is supposed to be taking care of them. That is something completely different. All right? Let's not use words that we don't understand, and give some grace and space for us women who are bringing in new life into this world into this industrial society that has no care or understanding for what it takes to raise and heal after having children. All right, we opted for our kids to stay home because I work from home and I'm not waking up at no 6 in the morning to rush my kids to get ready to go to somebody's institution that don't give a shit about them. Okay, so my kids stay home and they are homeschooled. And they get to go use the bathroom when they want to use the bathroom. They get to eat when they want to eat. They get to play outside when they want to play outside, as long as they're finishing up their schoolwork. Okay? And even if they don't, they still need to go outside. Like we done with slavery times. This ain't no slavery times. So yeah, if y'all like what y'all see, make sure y'all like the live. Hey, now the thumbs up can come up. Come on, thumbs up. Now I don't want to come up. Make sure y'all like the live, share with somebody who needs to hear this information, and sign up, y'all. We have some. All right, let me take my time. Hey, so I have two workshops coming up. I'm gonna be in Houston, Chicago, and Antigua. All right, and I'm doing a hip hop burlesque tour. So that is the sensual healing experience where you learn how to heal from sensual trauma, connect with yourself, breathe life into your sensual divine self, and really express yourself in a very feminine way. All right? And we do some affirmations. I'm going to have some light bites and treats, light refreshments that day because I want y'all to be comfortable and I want y'all to really open up to yourselves and give back to you. So this is another way that you can pour into yourself. The other thing I'm doing is the Pussy Talk 101 brunch, and this brunch is about to be delectable, y'all. The whole point of having it is to really give women a space to talk about their sexuality, to learn something new. We're doing some Kundalini meditation, sex toys exploration, talking about different foods to keep your poom poom juicy and fresh. Okay. And then I'm also opening the floor for y'all to share your experiences or ask me any questions about how to really tap into your sexual energy. Okay. Also, in Antigua, I'm going to be doing a few days of workshops teaching how to use the body butter. So we're talking about setting up your sanctuary and really dedicating your your me time to you. Okay, really giving yourself space to unwind and nurture yourself to the fullest. And I'm gonna teach y'all how to do that. We're also gonna go yoni sun sipping and do a full moon releasing ritual. We're right. So the full moon is right next to the summer solstice. So we're about to have a really good time in utilizing nature's energies for our healing and recharging our bodies. Okay. So I have some really beautiful people that I'm working with in Antigua. Cocoa Juice. Cocoa Juice, she makes some sea moss drinks, which I'm really excited to try. I've had some, but I want some from Antigua now. And some Aito food. So we're building confidence. We're helping you establish and maintain self esteem, peaceful mindset, get out of this competitive nature. We're not in competition with anybody. Understand that misogyny and um, patriarchy are oppressive and how to break free from this oppressiveness. Okay? So these are the things that I'm teaching y'all. Peace. Hey. I'm coming to Chicago in May. No, I'm just over here talking about the workshops that I'm doing this spring. So I'll be in Chicago in May. But yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank y'all for coming on. And I will see y'all next week. I'm about to go eat and drink and enjoy the rest of my evening. I love y'all. Love on yourselves. And I look forward to seeing y'all during my tour. All right. Peace. Peace, peace.